You are welcome to this class where we want to discuss what integrate differentiation using our calculator FX991 AS blocks. How to solve question quickly in an examination condition where you are allowed to use calculator. Now we want to solve question 1, 2, and question 3. There are 3 questions here we want to look at, and we are going to do that quickly as possible. Now this video is not going to be long. Let's see how far it goes. Now, you want to solve what? Given number 1 question, given y equal to 1 plus x squared divided by 1 minus x squared. Find y over the x. We are given all the options. Look at all the options here. So, what I want to do now is, first of all, you on your calculator. On that, press shift and press the button under alpha. You see something like this will come up. Now, I haven't done that now. What we're going to do now is press a fraction button to input your 1 plus what? 1 plus alpha x squared minus 1 minus alpha x squared. Alpha x squared. Alpha x squared. So I haven't done that now. What you do next is what? Shift it forward. I want to find it, because you cannot find the derivative without placing a point here. You must ascertain the point you want to, so that when you now place a value for x here, is that value you are going to be using to test all the options which one is correct. Now let us choose 2 as our x. So that means you are choosing x after differentiation. The value should be inputted into the word, or should be substituted into the derivative, and the answer will be produced. So what we are going to have now is what? You can choose any value, but choose a reasonable value. So I want to have 0.888888 like that. Now look at the value you have. Now you are not going to go to the option one after the other. The first one says what? A equal to 4x divided by 1 minus x squared. So you are going to put your 2 there, or 4 what? Alpha x, then 1 minus what? x squared. Input it there. X squared. Alpha what? X squared. Sorry. Now I haven't done that. Then what I want to do, you have, well, that is option A. Press calc to ascertain the value. Which value do we use? We use 2. So this, when we use 2, what do we have here? We are going to have a minus 2.6. That cannot be the answer. That is not the answer. We go again. Option B is what? What is option B? 4x open bracket 1 minus x squared all square. 4x squared divided by 1 minus x squared all square. So let us adjust and then modify this one. Don't need to retype it again. Put a close bracket here. Come here, adjust it. Put what? Open bracket here. Come to the word numerator, put what square there. Then come to the bracket here and put square. Power of 2. That means option B now. Look at it. It's now looking like. So now calc of 2. 2 is already there. It's ascertained already. So this one is not the answer. 1.77. Let's check option C. What for option C is what? 4x what? Divided by what? 1 minus x squared all square. So we just what? Remove the square there at the numerator. Just little adjustment to be doing. Then what? Press calc. Okay, 2 will still be there. Press the value. Okay, that is the answer. So we have option C as the answer to the question. So option C as the answer. Sorry for that. Option C as the answer to the question. Now, since option C is the answer to number 1, then let's move quickly to number 2. Let's move quickly to number 2. Number 2 now says what? Y equal to exponential exponential raised to power minus 2x cos 2x. Y prime is equal to dash. Y prime is what? Is derivative of what? Of y. So what I want to do now is simply what? We work with our calculator and also what? Input all those values. And what I want to do now is what? We are going to what? Use our, put it on back, then you what? Shift everything, then you press your exponential. Exponential is what? Lane. Look at it here on top of this lane. Press shift to bring it out. And then raised power minus what? 2 what? Alpha x. Then bring down cos what? 2x, 5x. Then what you have, shift it outside. Then take a value. First of all, close this one first. Close it. No, we have open. Check there's an open bracket here. Close it here. You have not closed that one. So close it. Then shift it forward to us. So what are the values we can use? Let's use 5. S equal to 5. I use 10. Don't use any value. You're going to be having math error. Now, look at the value I want to have now. I want to have, let's check very well. Again, we are going to have coming. We have exponential 2x. Let's start again to confirm it. Shift dot. Then we now have what? Exponential. Then minus what? 2. The value of x alpha. Then what do we have? Cos what? We have cos 2 alpha x. Knows it. Then put your what? Let's use 5. Okay, this is what we have now. I haven't done that now. Let's see what we are going to have when we. Let me set my calculator in radian. Let me see what will happen. Please let me set in radian. If there's something I'm detecting here, let me set my calculator in radian. Okay, I've set it in radian because of the value is small for that, especially for that course. Let's now do it again. So shift minus 2x alpha x, then cos what? 2 shift alpha, then close, then move it to what? 5. So better. So because you are dealing with what? With exponential, and this one is that the angle 5 is small, so it's better you just leave your answer in what? In radian when you are dealing with. So answer is what? 1.255 times 10 raised to the power minus 4. Times 10 raised to the power minus 4. So this minus 4. Now I haven't done that now. So what I want to do next is what? Let us check all the options that is allocated to us. Let's check the options one after the other. Now we have written that one down. Let's check it one after the other. The first option is what? Let's type it minus 3. Then exponential. Shift, press E. Then raised by what? Minus alpha what? 2 alpha x. I mean alpha close it. Then close it back, open it back rather. Then cos 2 what? X. Close it back, plus sine 2x. Then close the bracket. Now I haven't typed the value. Let's do what they call ascertain. Let us press calc so that you can give it a value. What value did you give to x when we solved this one? S was, don't forget, S was 5. When we solved this one, S was 5. Don't forget. So we are going to have what? With 5 here for x. So what do you have? 1. 883. No, that is not the answer. So this one is wrong. Let's check option B. We just do a little adjustment. No need to go and begin to type it again. I'm taking my time to explain it so that you don't need to do so many questions before you understand. So that is this. So you have adjusted that. If you check option A and option B, just difference of this minus 2. Then you press calc again. Okay, the 5 is still used. So 1.255, which is correct. 255 times x power minus 4. Look at it here. So which look like the answer we already got that we wrote down. So in that case, it means that our answer is correct. B is correct, as I can test others to ascertain that. Now, let us go to the last question that ends this class. The last question says what? Find the derivative of what? Of f of x equal to x, or divide by what? Square root of what? 1 minus what? S squared. Now, we want to find the derivative. Derivative means what? We are looking for what? F prime f of s. That's what we are looking for. We are looking for f prime f of s. That's what we are looking for. So that is the derivative. Now, how do we find the derivative of that? Clear of everything. Now, first of all, you press your what? Your shift and integral symbol there again. Now, when you do that, don't forget that we have to input our values, which is what? Alpha x, or square root of what? 1 minus alpha s squared. Now, I haven't done that. Now, you have to ascertain a value for it. What is the value I want to give? Don't give 1. You know why I say you should not give 1? Because if you give 1 now, 1 minus 1 will give us 0, and it will give math error. So the best value you can give here in this question, because of this 1 that is and the way the denominator is arranged, is what? Lesser than 1. Let's place 0.5. 0.5. If you use 0.5 now, what do we have? 1.539. Now 1.539. So we check others. Let's check others. We check option A, 1.539. Let me write it down. 1.539. Or let me store it. You can store the answer by pressing Shift Store. You store the answer so that you want to bring it out. That means anything you get in the option now should be looking like this. No, Simon, should be looking like this. So that means 1.5396. 1.539. Just leave it like that. Now we write, after writing down, what do? We check all the options. We type it one after the other. 1. So open bracket 1 minus what? S squared, close bracket. Then put what? Power of what? Minus 1 over 2. 1 over 2. Now, I haven't done this one. Now look at the first option. Look at it. I will not need to bother myself again, just to be adjusting. That's what I will do. Calc. Now, what do we use as our distance? Is 0.5. 0.5. So since we use 0.5, 0.5. So we are going to have it as what? Well, no, it's not really wrong. Let's change it to what? To option B. Option B says 3. So we substitute 3. So what do you have there when you are using 3? Because option B will now change the power to minus 3 over 2. Yes, that is the answer. 1.539. So option B is the answer to the question. So I believe you have gotten the way we do it. Now you check. Now look at the answer we got, 1.539. So it looked like what I wrote down. Look at what I wrote down, 1.539. So it's clear now. Thank you for watching.